I will tell you Borderlands 4, no deals.
No deals.
No deals. I got it on PlayStation because I also heard on PC it is a butthole fire.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. I've done some research about it because if I was going to get it, I was probably going to get it on PC. So, but I was like, oh, am I making a huge mistake? Anyway, let's just get into it so we can talk about Borderlands for the main topic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GGG Podcast. It is episode 93, and you know what's special about episode 93, Phil?
1993 was the year you were born.
No, but close. But this week actually marks our 2-year anniversary doing this podcast. Ha ha! Yay! So we get a little mini celebration before the 100th episode. So that's fun. But hello, everyone. I'm Paul. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Phil. We appreciate you listening. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate it if you did so. And if you're listening to the audio version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, follow us over there as well. We got a good show for you. We got lots of little releases this week that are pretty exciting. And we're going to be talking about Borderlands 4 for the main topic. Phil, how's your gaming week been? You just told me you bought Borderlands, so that's pretty exciting. Have you been playing anything else? Have you been playing that a lot, a little? What's been going on?
I've played that a medium amount. And then besides that, I think Silksong is still in the rotation.
Right, yeah.
Outside of that, not that much gaming. You know, I had the weekend to myself. My lady was out of town. Ooh. It was just me and the dog. And you know what I did? I scrolled on my phone. Because you know, life isn't great.
yeah. I'm trying. It's been a lot of social media this week, so
yeah. I wish I could avoid that. I wish I could avoid that better, but I would be like playing Borderlands and then like looking at my phone for a while, and be like, "What was I doing? Oh yeah, having fun."
Right. But I keep the impulse keeps coming back to check what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been trying to be aware of that. I think a lot of people are going through that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun. What have you been playing?
Still been playing a little bit of No Man's Sky. I've actually played a lot of Space Marine 2 this week, just because with the update they've added weekly challenges and quests that they do, and there's like now like heroic weapons that you can get that are like the elite form of each weapon type. So I've been trying to grind that out and do that. And it's been a lot of fun. And it's great. I don't know why they didn't think of this earlier, of just having like the classic Left 4 Dead director of like, hey, every time you play this mission, it's a little bit different with a little bit different conditions, a little bit different restrictions, and like some of them are positive, some of them are negative, of like, oh, you're playing in the dark, so you can only see a certain amount in front of you, but you also get a squad of regular soldiers that follow you around and help you kill things, you know, stuff like that. So that's been really fun. Been playing a little bit of Sword of the Sea, which came out probably almost a month ago now. But having fun with that, but it lacks the magic that Journey had, and I think most of the reviewers kind of agree with that sentiment. But it is a very fun game. It's very visually stimulating. It's just when you play it and you've played all of their other games before, you can kind of tell that, oh, these are all of the assets from all of their other games. They didn't really design anything specific to this game. And I feel like that's a little disappointing because it's more of a like a culmination of all the stuff they've worked on as opposed to being its own unique piece. And I say piece because it's very artsy. But, you know, I've still been enjoying it regardless. I still think it's a very good game. If you have PlayStation Plus, it's free on PlayStation Plus. I would encourage you to play it. So, but I am excited for the release, particularly one release this week. But let's talk a little Dying Light the Beast first, because I know you've been excited about that to finally.
Yeah. So I play all the Dying Light games. Typically, I play Dying Light 1 quite a bit. To play Dying Light 2, probably for a good, like, 10 to 20 hours. And then I think what happens with Dying Light games is you just get a little, like, all right, what's next? Like, it does get a little repetitive.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I actually remember finishing Dying Light 1, which is kind of a rare thing in open world, like, type of games where it was compelling enough to finish it. Dying Light, The Beast is part DLC, part full game. It started out originally as Dying Light 2 DLC, but it is the continued story of the protagonist from the first game who was bitten and, like, infected by one of the superpowered zombies, and so he's got, like, these zombie powers. It's this whole thing.
He's sticking his arm through people's chests.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, honestly. The parkour, I imagine, has got to be real sick if you could do all that. So
sure, yeah. So yeah,
but yeah, that seems good.
Yeah, I've been very curious about this game. So I played the original Dying Light, really liked it. But I ran into that. I am so bad with scary games, man. It's bad, and I would get stressed out, and the repetitive nature of it has you constantly going out at night, which I get it. That's part of the big mechanic that they establish in that game of, like, it's a zombie game, but it's also I Am Legend, and so. I struggled to play with it a little bit, but with this game, because you're kind of super powered, I think that would remove a little bit of the fear factor for me. So I'm tempted to get back in. And this is not a full priced game. Am I correct in thinking so?
I believe it's a $40 joint.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think for me, like, playing those games, I always just saw the monster that's chasing you. I was like, that's the thing you get to kill later. And that was like, you build towards that, and then once you do that, it's like, all right, game's over. No need to play no more.
Yeah, that's good. I'm good. All right. Well, next up on our major releases, Lego Voyagers came out this week. This game was showed off during the Summer Games Fest. I actually thought it was really cutesy and interesting. For those who don't have a frame of reference, it's that game where you play as, like, a single Lego block. Like a single Lego block with one stud. You have a little eyeball on it, and it's a cooperative game where you're little Lego blocks and you're traversing Lego worlds. And it seems like a great game for, like, parents to play with their kids, or, someone who likes video games to play with, their partner who's not really into video games or anything like that. And it's been getting pretty good reviews, but the reviewers are kind of in agreement that there isn't much of a game here and that it's very short. With that being said, it's a very reasonably priced game. I think it launched at $25, and on a couple different stores, it's on sale for like $22.50 or something like that. So for a $22.50 game, I wouldn't expect it to be very long, but it seems like it kind of feels like the length of like the original Astrobot, kind of. And that's
good. That's a great length.
Yeah, it is, but Astrobot was also a free game that came on the PlayStation. So
True.
Or Astro's Playroom, I should say, specifically. But super artsy game, looks really cool. If I had a kid, I would probably buy this and play this with my kid. So, yeah. What else you got this week, Phil?
We have Skate, just launched in early access. Ooh. That is free. That is the Skate that we have been hunkering down and hoping for years. Skate 2, if you remember it, it was like the Tony Hawk for, I don't even know who it was for. It was just fun because you could, like, it was very, very challenging. Like, you had to memorize how to do flip tricks with the thumbsticks.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was also, like, a lot of silly fun. You could kind of, like, go ragdoll and limp and, like, do all these really cool falls and fun stuff. And it seems like that is what they're going for again. And this one is an always online game, which is kind of a bummer. But I think it's just cool to see. I'm excited to see, like, what they did to evolve the franchise, or what they decided to pick back up and run with.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this works as a live service. I get that it's always online because it's a free-to-play game. But Yeah, I think this is just a game for people who are really into skating. And I think that all of the marketing that I've seen for this has been like, if you like skating, this is the skating game. This is what you need to play when you are not out skating for real. So, for fans of that, this looks promising. But yeah, I'm very curious. But also, it's like at free to play, it's not a big price of admission. So
yeah.
So yeah,
that's right in the zone there.
All right, speaking of low prices for admission, Jump Space, a game I have been talking about for over a year, is finally coming out this week. I'm very excited about it. I think we mentioned last week that they announced that it would be releasing at a $20 price point, which is awesome. I love that. There's no indication thus far that there's going to be microtransactions, but we will have to wait and see about that. But yeah, going to be coming out this Friday. I'm going to be playing it with my friends. It is a 4-person space adventure roguelike-esque game. And I am looking forward to it so much. And I'm going to try and get you on there, Phil. I'm trying to get everybody I know into space with me. It's going to be great.
Time to jump some space.
Yes, we're going to jump. We're not going to jump ship. We're going to jump space.
It's very exciting. That is I know that you've been looking forward to that one for a while. I got to play a little bit of it during Steam Next Fest. So I'm excited to see that it is like finally here. Yeah. It's getting its full release so much sooner than I guess I kind of anticipated for the breadth and scale of the game. So that is exciting.
Yeah, well, when I played the demo, which I think was 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I was impressed by, like, the demo really felt like a full beta. So, like, it did seem like, oh, yeah, okay, this game is ready to launch. So I feel confident that it'll be a smooth launch. All right, let's get into the news for this week. So, at the very end of our podcast last week, if you were listening, there were some rumors floating around that there might be another Sony State of Play coming out this month in September. And the rumor was that it could possibly be Wolverine. But now we are hearing from official sources that there will definitely be a State of Play this September that Sony has confirmed. They have not confirmed that it will be Wolverine, but now we're getting additional sources that are saying it's going to be Wolverine. So I feel confident that finally we're going to see something that has Wolverine in it. And I'm so relieved about this. I mean, they had the whole leak situation that happened early last year, I want to say. And I've unfortunately seen some of that footage, and it's just like that. It didn't look great, but it's like, that's not footage that they were ready to show to anybody. So I'm excited to see what they're ready to show. But I also did feel in the footage that they did leak, that the gameplay, it looks viable. It looks like, okay, as Wolverine, I can climb up walls and I can, parkour and do all of these things. And I was really wondering, because there's really only one Wolverine game that came out, I think, in the Xbox 360 era.
X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Yes.
Basically a God of War like that freaking rocked. Yeah, that game was dope. You know what? There was another Wolverine game where you played, I think it was like Weapon X Wolverine. Okay. And it was a beat 'em up. Wasn't quite as good. But yeah, the Wolverines had a couple turns out there, but to see it in Insomniac's hands, it's like, okay, we know our beclawed boy is in the right place, doing the right thing within the right hands, because they know Spider-Man. I mean, people have their grouses about Spider-Man too, but I am interested to see if we're getting this. And the fact that it's Insomniac is exciting because that means it might be within a similar universe type thing. That's all a lot to go over. But it also feels weird that the Venom game was pretty much confirmed by some of those leaks. And that's going to be like a Miles Morales-sized game. Not seemingly... or seemingly is going to be after the Wolverine thing. Right. But it's weird because that seems like a smaller thing. They already have the base built for that.
Right.
I wonder how long like the distance is between the two, or why we're seeing Wolverine first versus this. But I will agree with you that like every time I saw one of those leaks, I was like, damn, this is pushing back the release of this game by another month. Like every second of footage I see is just Yeah.
Delay. Yeah, I mean, it is curious. I know that originally there was supposed to be DLC for Spider-Man 2. By the way, I've seen you playing Spider-Man 2. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you haven't been
If I
talking
turn on my
about that and what
PlayStation?
you haven't been talking about playing that again.
I turn on my PlayStation and just swing around for a little while when I need to think sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's maybe like 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't. I don't even know if it counts. It's just always...
it's fun. It's fun, good gameplay. Yeah, so like I think the reason Wolverine's taken so long, obviously like the leaks, like you said, but also it looked like they were using the Spider-Man engine, they're using the Spider-Man mechanics, but they obviously have to rework things so that it feels like a Wolverine game. Like a big criticism I had of the Marvel's Avengers game, which I do think got patched into a good game eventually, was that it felt like Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, where it's like I'm not really playing the Hulk. I'm playing a Marvel game where I can play as the Hulk sometimes, but this game isn't built from the ground up to be the Hulk. Whereas like Spider-Man is built from the ground up to feel like you're Spider-Man. And that's why the swinging feels so good. So they probably have to figure out how do they do that for Wolverine? What makes the gameplay unique to Wolverine as opposed to other characters and whatnot? So I wanted to...
I feel like... Well, I was going to say, I feel like that Avengers game was like a Captain America game and a Hawkeye game. Like, those are the characters that it felt the most like you were actually playing as.
Absolutely.
Because everybody was so scaled down.
Yes, or throw Black Widow in there as well. So I wanted to ask, though, do you think they're going to try to do any cameo stuff in this Wolverine game? Like, have any characters that are not specifically Wolverine or X-Men? Like, the reason I ask is because like people want to ride the hype of other media, and so we got Deadpool versus Wolverine. And so do you think there's going to be a Deadpool in there, or do you think they're going to try to keep it tonally very, very in the Wolverine genre? What do you think?
I think we'll probably... I was thinking about this as the whole idea came up on our rundown. I think Deadpool is likely going to be at least hinted at, if not like a mission giver at some point, like someone you run into in the game, because I don't know, I have that like weird feeling he kind of fits in perfectly, but that is kind of tied in, like his powers are derived from Wolverine's powers in the comics. He is kind of in Wolverine's orbit, I would say. So I don't know if it necessarily counts. I would love to see something that ties into what's going on, or like something that talks about, oh, this is going on in New York with Spider-Man, like that big invasion of symbiotes. Honestly, seeing like someone, because there was symbiote all over Spider-Man in New York too, seeing like someone using the symbiote to, not necessarily Carnage, but like another one that you have to fight would be fun for Wolverine, because that's not someone you could just instantly tear in half. So I would love just some congruous, like, we're all in the same universe bits.
I would they hinted at that with Marvel's Avengers, and then they were like, no.
They were like, no.
So yeah, I think that would be cool. And something I've also thought about is I really liked in the first Spider-Man Insomniac game that it wasn't a Spider-Man origin story. It was like, no, Peter's been Spider-Man for a while now. And so I'm curious if they're going to do the same approach in a Wolverine game, where this is Wolverine he's joined the X-Men, he's left the X-Men. Are there going to be X-Men in the game? Is he going to be taking orders from Professor Xavier, or is this some own personal quest? And on top of that, the bigger question I have is this an open world? Because Insomniac games tend to be open worlds. I don't know if a Wolverine game should necessarily be an open world game. So I just have a lot of questions, and I'm really curious about the state of play. So we're gonna hopefully get some of those questions answered when they talk.
Honestly,
about it.
a Wolverine origin game where he plays like Samurai Wolverine, where he's like going around like when he's training in the Far East and he's like got a katana. Like, give me Ghost of Yotei plus this game. Like, cross pollinate your studios, guys, and just make something wacky.
All right, wacky. You heard it. All right. Next up on the news, the game Dispatch officially got a release for October 22nd. Phil and I know somebody who's voicing one of the characters on Dispatch, so it's very exciting for us. But yeah, this is a game that I'm really excited for. Get back to that Telltale format. And I think, having it be about superheroes, it pulls a lot of people in that I don't think we're really going to play The Wolf Among Us in those type games. And so, like, Walking Dead is a little bit more pop culture-y, but this is like, hey, it's superheroes, but it's our own superheroes. It's our own thing, so we can take whatever creative license we want. Yeah. And I like the fact that you're not playing as a hero. You're playing as the dispatcher who manages heroes. I think that's great.
Yeah, this I played the demo during Steam Next Fest. They have the first chunk of a mission, like half an hour of the game, and it is so different from everything Telltale was doing before. Like, Telltale before felt like game models doing stuff, right? Like, yes. They were, it was very like blocky, very like
you're turning the pages of a comic book. Yeah.
I feel like their probably best evolution was one of their Tales to the Borderlands games. Like, it looked a little bit more, like it got more fluid. This seems like an animated film. Like, it is beautiful and very. I feel like you're sort of selecting paths that you go down for a lot of the interactions, which will, I think, affect things down the line. The gameplay itself is very cleverly. You're like on a computer, like sort of doing office work where you're sending these heroes to different places and trying to match them up with their effectiveness. But man, what a great evolution for Telltale. This is what they needed to do to like make something that looks next generation. It kind of changed their style. They weren't using the same old engine they did for the majority of their old games. So I am very excited for this one. I think it's I don't think it's going to be on my list of game of the year per se, but it is probably my most anticipated indie right now.
Wow, that's pretty high praise. So I just want to clarify. So I don't think Telltale is actually making this game.
Is it not Telltale?
I think it might be people who've worked on it, but the official developer and publisher is Ad Hoc Studio.
Snap!
But definitely the same format. I think Telltale might have closed.
I guess I thought they reopened because maybe it is a lot of the same people. I know it's also being published through a Critical Role.
Oh, okay.
Which is an interesting thing.
Right on.
But good for them. Very, very good. So it's a lot of ex-Telltale devs. That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Beans.
Exactly. Well, glad they got jobs. That's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah.
All right. Next up in the news, Valheim, probably my favorite survival game of all time, is officially getting a PlayStation release in 2026. I really don't know how to feel about this. I'm a huge Valheim fan. I'm a huge PlayStation fan, so you'd think I'd be excited. But I mean, this game came out in 2021, I think in February of 2021. And so I'm just kind of, and now it's not going to be coming to PlayStation until next year. So it's just like, that's 5 years later. I don't know that just because I can play with a square and a triangle, that this is going to make me
change that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will say, just to add on to this story a little bit, Valheim did get an update recently. I believe it was last week. They got the Call to Arms update, which added some new enemies to the game, specifically bears and zombie bears, depending on what biome you're in. And they've also added combat training, where you can build combat dummies and do arena fights and stuff like that. And that's something that I actually built arena pens to fight my friends and whatnot. So that was really fun, just in what I did with it. So it's good to see the developers throwing in those tools to use in the game. But yeah, I don't know that a PlayStation, other than like being able to play Valheim on my PlayStation Portal, I don't really know what this does for anybody. Yeah,
I think the proliferation of people who wouldn't get to play Valheim before are able to play it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it wasn't like it was some game that you could only play on your computer, because now there are Steam Decks. I mean, it is a PC game, but I guess it's like the proliferation is good because more people are going to play it.
Yeah.
It comes to a more mainstream audience, probably the most owned console there is. I wish it was on Switch. That'd be freaking radical. Switch 2, let's go. Put Valheim on there.
Yeah.
It seems like the ultimate way to play because like you said, the PlayStation Portal seems like a really cool way to just sit back in a low lit room and just jam out.
Absolutely. And you just sold it to me. Good job. All right. Our last story this week. So SEGA is back at picking fights with Nintendo. Little Sonic versus Mario action. We haven't seen this in a while, but this is an official SEGA ad where they slight Mario Kart in order to push the new Sonic racing game that's coming out. And I don't see the tactic here. I don't get it. Mario won a long time ago, SEGA. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know if there's like this loyal Sonic Racers fan base that just hates Mario Kart. It feels like the same market to me. Is there some sort of distinction that you think I'm missing here, Phil?
Or that's really funny. I'm watching the commercial right now.
It's like, we've all known that kart game. You don't want to play that kart game. It's like,
well, they have it playing on a screen attached to an old like Breaking Bad RV. So they're trying to say that the Switch sucks. And listen, the Switch 2 can handle Mario Kart, handle it pretty damn well.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, you wanna really get at them? Try and get into Mario Kart, Sonic. They've got it. They got the freaking plant in there. They got the cow. They have I'm trying to think of another character. They have a mole.
I mean, there has been like Sonic is in Super Smash Brothers. There's been tons of like cross. Sonic has been in Nintendo stuff, and that's why I find this weird, because I feel like 15 years ago, maybe I don't know, maybe less than that, but 15 years ago, Sega decided, hey, we're not going to be able to beat Nintendo. We're not going to be able to beat Mario. So if we can't beat them, let's join them. And let's play Olympic Games with them. Exactly. Let's do Olympic Games. Let's do the Rabbids. Let's get into Smash Brothers. Let's do all of that stuff. And that's been great. And I guess it just seems like if I was Nintendo and I saw this ad, I know it's playful and silly, but it's just kind of like, hey, we did a bunch of licensing deals with you where you're in our games. Why are you making fun of our launch title for our new console? That feels a little weird.
I think what it is they really wanted Sonic to be in the new Mario Kart game, and Nintendo told them to go suck an egg. And so
yeah, that could be it.
And from what I hear, the Sonic racing games are quite good. I think the issue is just Mario Kart has kind of a dominion over that entire platform. So there's nothing really they can do.
Do you think that this is a grab at people who don't have a Switch 2? Who are like, well, you don't have a Switch 2, but if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, you can still play a kart racing game. So don't feel like you're missing out or anything like that. So,
and a very good-looking kart racing game at that. Yeah. I think that's their angle. They're trying to like get at people who don't have Switch 2s. And really, right now, if you don't have a Switch 2, it's not because you can't get one. They are around and about. It's just like it's not been worth it yet, which is totally a fair bet. So it's kind of like you said, an odd commercial for them to be like kind of slamming the Switch 2, but at the same time being like, play this cool kart game, guys. Like I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Silly, but the 90s kid in me loves it because I remember Sony does what Nintendo don't, or whatever, or Sega does what Nintendo don't.
You remember when companies
Great.
competed? Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah, that was nice. Now they're all just competing against us by crushing us to death.
All right, and with that, with crushing us to death, let's get into our main topic, which is Borderlands 4 has been dominating gaming social media over this last week. Every streamer and their mother has been playing it. So that's good for Borderlands 4 sales. But let's talk about it being review bombed on Steam before we actually get into the details of the game, Phil. So there have been numerous performance issues with the PC version of the game. And you've probably, if you're on any kind of gaming social media or news sites, you've probably seen these complaints as well. I was a little scared of this because I was thinking about getting Borderlands specifically on PC. But the more that I've read about it, and I will acknowledge that Randy Pitchford over at Gearbox not doing a great PR job handling this in what he's saying, but just I do think he is speaking the truth a little bit. And it's not usually a position I take to side with the developers on this, but the people that are complaining about performance issues are trying to play this game at like 4K or north of 4K and are trying to get the most high fidelity, incredible thing. And they're complaining that their 4060 can't do it. And I get it. You spent the money on a 4060, or you got something better than that. You're into the 50s. And so I get how that's frustrating, but I don't know. If you're running the game normally, you can run the game like at 60 frames per second and it still looks great, and it's at least or better than console quality, because as you know, and as more informed gamers know, when you're playing games on consoles, they're usually not running in full 4K. They're running in like a lesser 4K. It's better than HD, but they're not running in full 4K. So
usually that cross stitch nonsense.
Yeah.
I will say I've heard from a lot of people that even on high end PCs, this game still chugs to get to 60.
Okay.
But I'm like, I definitely do think that there is an element of people with PCs just being like, this should be able to run anything, and that is also very complex for games in general, because they can't develop to a PC specs when there are so many different varieties of PC specs.
Exactly.
But Borderlands 4 is Borderlands 4. They got that 2K money. They have that just made a terrible movie money. They should be testing for this, especially since I feel like the Borderlands games have such a rich history on PC. I feel like that has been a large adoption base for them.
I guess the concern for me is that Borderlands 4 is built on Unreal Engine 5. So, this is not like their own engine that they made. This is not some weird engine. This is an industry standard engine. So unless they are doing something very specific, or like we need to get this to look like Borderlands, and Unreal doesn't want to do that. So I guess that's a little weird, but apparently from what I've read about the performance issues, it's not just the 4K stuff, but it's just there are certain, like the V-Sync, you need to turn that off, and different things, and how they've talked about it. And I'm sure this is a little insulting to some gamers out there, but it's like a lot of the settings are like placebo settings, where you switch it on and you can't really see any difference at all. But when you switch it off, the game magically runs a million times better. And I think that speaks to Unreal Engine having all of these different settings built into it, that most people don't need to be given the option to do that. But I understand, I just want to say, I understand the tech heads who are like, I have this amazing gaming rig that I spent $6,000 on. It should be able to run everything on Ultra. So I understand that as well. So
it's an interesting thing. I've been playing the new game, and it's pretty fun. I think so. This time I picked a different class than I usually pick. Ooh. Usually I pick the Siren.
Yeah.
But I picked this dude who's got like techno blades that come out of his back. Seems really cool.
Yeah.
But I think my gameplay style, the more I'm realizing, like, no, I play Sirens. I like wielding magic and then cool guns. Like, it is a nice double bonus. But overall, it is more Borderlands. I do think it's more affecting than Borderlands 3.
What do you mean?
The story takes itself a little bit more seriously.
Okay.
There's I'll spoil the mission here because I feel like it's within the first like 2 hours of the game.
Okay.
But you find so spoilers here for a mission in Borderlands 4.
Mini spoilers.
It's a side mission. It's optional, but you find a bomb that has not gone off yet in the middle of a town. So it's sort of think like Megaton vibes. Okay. But the bomb is like a talking robot. Like the bomb's core is like has an AI processed into it, and it's like this very sweet, kind, caring core that's just like, oh no, I don't want to blow up here, but like I feel like my life's purpose is to blow up. And I don't know if the missile casing that I was in was defective or what it is. Can you help me find a missile casing so I can know whether or not it was a dud? And if I am, then I guess I'll just come back and live here. But please reconstruct me as a missile and take me in somewhere and shoot me off into the distance. And that's a really sweet mission because you're fighting this thing that's like, it is my life's purpose to do this. I don't want to harm people, but like this is what I want to. That is what I feel like I'm drawn to do. And it's just great. It's just like a very sweet mission. It takes itself, like the premise is Borderlands and silly, but the story takes itself relatively seriously.
Okay. Yeah, so from what I've watched and read in reviews is that it's a lot more, it's not as silly, the storytelling, but because of that, a lot of the main characters in the game kind of feel really bland. And whereas in the missions themselves, like you were just describing, that stuff feels really funny and creative. But when it comes to the cutscenes, it's very like, no, we're going to take everything seriously. And because you're taking everything seriously, it falls into this like, is this just a crappy action movie kind of a vibe? So that's what a lot of reviewers. I haven't played the game yet. I'm probably going to at some point, but that's what reviewers have been complaining about. But other than that, I mean, the gameplay from everything that I've seen looks a million times better. I love that they added a grapple. I love that they continued the parkour work that they kind of started in Borderlands 3, but really needed to refine so you could move, slide faster, ledge grab easier. All of that kind of stuff seems great. The one thing that's really kept me from buying this game is my experience playing Diablo 4, and that is like, this seems like just a pure dopamine game where it's the looting and killing, and the looting and killing and killing and looting and all of that. And so it's like, it seems fun for like a short burst, but as soon as that dopamine doesn't hit the same way, what am I left with in the game? And I think like with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that I really liked, it was the silliness of the world. It was this weird fusion of Dungeons and Dragons and Borderlands that kind of birthed that excitement and new life into Borderlands for me. But for this, because of the bland storytelling, from what reviewers are saying, I've been a little reticent to pull the trigger. So
that's fair. I do like that it's finally on a place that is not Pandora.
Love that. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah,
whole new zone, whole new like versions of alien life. So I think there are a good amount of positives. It hasn't evolved in a way that's like completely redefines Borderlands, because it is, like you said, it's that looter shooter. It is that dopamine from a confetti bursting an enemy. But I've been thinking that is kind of like, you know what? I haven't played that in a while. I kind of want that, and Borderlands is pretty good at doing that. I will say their shooting feels a little bit closer to Destiny this time around, which is some pretty big praise.
Yeah, absolutely. I when I originally saw the trailer, the gameplay deep dive and all that stuff, I was like, this is playing like Destiny, and I praised it for doing that because Destiny's gameplay is great. I'm never going to talk smack. I mean, other than every mission is walk into a room and press a button, but
But it's you got to press that button in different directions, you know.
Oh no, that's Helldivers. No,
Oh, sorry, I meant like shooting in different directions.
Oh, yes.
That's what.
yes. So I love that it's more like Destiny. I also know that they've added like world events into the game, which is super exciting. I love to see that. So it does feel like it's borrowed a lot from Destiny, from Diablo, from that genre. So I don't know. I'm really close to buying it. But
Yeah.
I just we'll see. But yeah, are you regretting the class that you picked? Do you think you're going to go back and pick the Siren?
I think I'm going to pick the Siren, which is a bit of a bummer because I do like this character.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to I got to see what the Siren is like. Maybe I will play for a little bit and be like, not for me. But I doubt
she
it.
seems much from what I've seen. She's a summoner Siren because you get like that saber-tooth tiger or regular tiger or whatever it is. So and that seems really cool. And I like mage combat with shooting. Like the one of the classes that I was thinking about playing is like the guy with the two axes. Because he looks really cool and those abilities look great. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a melee guy when the main core of the gameplay is shooting a gun.
Exactly.
And that's like why I really love like the Gunzerker in Borderlands 2, because it's like, hey, this is the heavy guy, but his thing is like he can pull out two big guns and shoot stuff. So
he gets more guns, more guns, more big guns.
What is the last character? Is she like the engineer class in the game?
She's like an engineer. I feel like her specialty is like different types of grenades and explosions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. The way that it goes, like the character that I picked has like a robot, like sort of exterior body that he either gets like blades or that he can do like melee damage with, and he's very like quick and darts around the battlefield, or he has like guns that pop over his shoulders, Predator style, and just target things for you.
Oh, okay.
Hers is like different types of explosions that do like different types of damages and things like that. I really like the melee looking like Nordic guy Amon because he's apparently all about like those axes that he throws get different elemental effects. So you're like freezing people, burning people, that type of stuff. And like you said, the Siren just looks like a Pokemon trainer with a gun. So I'm in.
I mean, I guess the reluctance with the explosive expert is like, are there still grenade mods in the game?
Yeah. Yeah, the grenades are pretty crazy. There's one that I encountered in the game that is a black hole, pretty much. You throw it and it just picks everything up in an area and just kind of like spins them around so you can shoot them.
Wow.
It's pretty sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll need to do some more research into some of these characters.
That was the moment where I saw Paul go like, all right.
I like singularities. Because they're from space.
They're from space.
Everything is in space, Marty.
It's true.
All right. Any more little tidbits about Borderlands 4 that you want to add before we wrap up the podcast this week, Phil?
Nothing I can think of, but, it is a good time. It's just more Borderlands.
More Borderlands. More Borderlands is fun. So I think I will say I think this game came out in a very good time, because like I know we got Ghost of Yotei and Battlefield 6 coming out next month, but I feel like those games are not really going to compete. It's just a different genre, different there's a different market. There's hardcore gamers like us that are going to buy the big games, but the average person getting Battlefield is probably not getting Borderlands. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. Episode 93, our second birthday episode. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio-only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. We certainly appreciate it. Have a good week, everybody. Peace out.
Peace.